Hello modelers, today we will look at how to assemble the fantastic HGW laser cut fabric seatbelts. The seatbelts add a lot of realism to a finished cockpit. They come as two main components, the microtextile fabric and a sheet of photo etched buckles. The instructions also are fairly easy to follow. You will need a decent CA adhesive like Rocket, some fine tweezers, a suitable cockpit, here I'm using an FW190 by Edward, and a decent hobby knife. Here is a sneak peek of the finished result. They are flexible, thin, and with the edged buckles look very realistic. First you need to remove the fabric pieces with a sharp knife. The next step is to separate the material from the paper backing sheet. This needs to then be crumpled between your fingers to give the material a more natural look. For most of the seatbelt assembly, it's easier to thread the belts through the buckles whilst the photo etched parts are still attached to the sprue. This way, you don't run the risk of dropping the piece and losing it forever. When you have threaded your seatbelt, carefully cut the buckle from the sprue and add a small drop of glue on the rear to keep it in place. As the HGW seatbelts are so realistic, sometimes you will have to thread two pieces of material through a tiny buckle. I found gluing the belts before threading them easier, but still very fiddly. These end pieces were almost impossible to assemble whilst attached to the sprue. So using a knife and a toothpick to keep the seatbelt flat, I carefully folded the material around the buckle and glued it with a tiny drop of CA glue. When you have finished the assembly, it's time to glue the belts to the model with CA glue. Holes were drilled with a 0.3mm drill for the rear seat belts. They were then pinned into place. The side seatbelts were carefully glued into place with CA glue. Once I was happy, the model was sprayed with Alclad Aqua Gloss and then followed with a matte varnish. Using a mix of yellow ochre and burnt umber artist oils, I painted in some shadows to add realism. I also washed the mixture around details to highlight them. Finally, I added some darker shading with burnt umber. You can see one seatbelt missing. This will be added when the build is finished, as I want it hanging outside of the plate. And there you have it, the complete HGW seatbelts in an Edward 148 FW190. Don't forget to subscribe to LPJ Models for more videos. And thanks for watching.